Raiders football is back. The Raiders kicked off the 2022 NFL season with the annual Hall of Fame game played in Canton, Ohio, and it was a great one for the Raiders. They got the 27-11 victory over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, it's preseason, so hardly any of the actual starters were playing for the Raiders, but still a pretty exciting start to the new season in this exhibition game. So yeah, the Raiders, very good start in this game. They were up 20-0 at halftime. And they looked really good. Obviously it's a big change for them. New coach and a lot of new players. And I think for the Raiders, we were sort of focused on our offensive line this game and our secondary. Those are two sort of the weaker spots for the Raiders. I feel like if the Raiders end up failing this year, it's going to be probably because of the O-line or the secondary. I was pretty satisfied with the O-line in this game. I think the offensive line for the Raiders, it did its job, right? There were some good runs for the Raiders. Zamir White's first carry as a Raider was a 14-yard run, I believe, and so that was good. Josh Jacobs also, he got a couple good carries, obviously, as a starter, so he didn't play much. The real story, though, was Jarrett Stidham was the starter for the Raiders, quarterback-wise, and he did very good. He got a rushing touchdown, 96 yards passing, and, it was good to see, obviously, Mariota's gone, so we don't have like a reliable backup. At least we don't know if we do. So that was good to see. Nick Mullins also played for the Raiders, and so did Chase Garbers. Believe it or not, I actually played catch with Chase Garbers way back in the day. He went to Cal, and so I was happy to see him play. But yeah, for the Raiders, the run game was good. Zamir White leading rusher, and there was also some good receiving. Tyron Johnson, he got 39 yards. So it was a solid game for the Raiders. In terms of defense, Kendall Vickers got a sack for the Raiders. That was good to see. And so, overall, a solid performance. I think the second half could have been better. The Jags did not play good in this one. And so I'm just happy, football's back. It's cool to be in a game like this. Right out of the gate, the Raiders played good. It was just a very good start to the game. And so it was good to see. It's backups, it's third stringers, but overall, I think it was just a fun game. If you're a fan, because it was just a very dominant win for the Raiders. 14 points in that second quarter. Stidham looked good. There was just a lot of consistency. No interception thrown by Raiders, and so that was good to see. The Jags ran with two quarterbacks, Kyle Sloter and Jake Luton, both of which, not horrible, but of course they didn't put up many points, so that was interesting. But the Raiders, definitely dominated this game. I'm excited, particularly about some of our new offensive linemen. I think Leatherwood did, I gotta give him credit, he looked a lot better. Alex Leatherwood, obviously last year he was a rookie. Last year was a first round pick out of Alabama. Did not look super good last year at O-line. Obviously I said it's a weaker spot for the Raiders, and so they're trying to clean that up. I think he looked a lot better this game. It's obviously a small sample size. I also think Dylan Parham, who was our early draft pick this year, offensive lineman, he looked okay, so that's good to see. So hopefully we can get those guys up and running. I also was impressed with Zamir White and his agility. And so I think, obviously, we have Josh Jacobs. He's our guy. But we also have to remember, Josh Jacobs, he's had trouble staying healthy before. And also, of course, with the fifth-year option thing, we don't know how long Josh Jacobs, sadly, will be a Raider. We don't know how long, he's going to be with us. And so I think the Raiders, if they can find a gem in Zamir White, which I think they sort of are, bargaining on that, I think it would be good. And so, yeah, anyways, it was good to see that the Raiders won this. They didn't even, interesting enough, they didn't even have many pass attempts compared to the Jaguars, and yet they still won this game pretty easily with, just what they did. Pass attempt-wise, per quarterback, it was pretty spread out. And so, yeah, guys, the Raiders win 27-11 in the annual Hall of Fame game, the first preseason game. And, yeah, anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and, yeah, go Raiders.